first loadout out of the 4 we're covering, and possibly my favorite to destroy the automatons with, I like to call the Expendables. Now, I like to call it this because my other friend, Claysthetics, has a build he calls the Disposables, but I always call it the wrong name. Basically, we're bringing both of the expendable weapons, the EAT and the Commando, and I like to combo this with the anti-tank emplacement and the hover pack. Now, using all of my stratagems for anti-tank, I can destroy every heavy armored unit on the map. I'm basically a one-man anti-tank army. And using the hover pack to put the gamer chair up on a mountain is really, really awesome, except everyone always runs into this one issue. You ever bounce your gamer chair off a mountain? Well, do I have the loadout for you? It's called Bring and Eat. Oh, look, my gamer chair can go there.
Wait, what?
Now we put the gamer chair. So with that little tech out of the way, we can dedicate our primary, secondary, and grenade to dealing with the mobs. So I was using Eruptor in the background footage with the angled foregrip and the iron sights for the best weapon handling possible, and I just love pairing the Eruptor with a weapon like the Talon, so that way I can pull it out and kill all the small bots anytime I need it. The Senator and the Verdict are also fine choices. I just prefer the laser revolver because it's super cool. For the grenade, you probably obviously want to use a mobbing grenade. I like Pyrotechs since they kill Devastators and anything smaller in one throw, and you get 6 of them. But gas grenades can put in work distracting enemies and, you know, maybe stopping them from shooting out your anti-tank emplacement. Another small shout out to the frag grenades because they are in the free war bond and you get 5 of them and they are pretty powerful. Now, one reason I like this loadout is the sheer volume of anti-tank expendable weapons. A lot of people also just like running the jump pack and the Quasar to snipe fabricators from a long distance. But personally, I don't think the Quasar is an actual good tool for like literally fighting the bots. And the EAT and Commando can also are good at fighting the bots, but they can also take out fabricators from a distance. One call in of each, and you can pretty much delete an entire heavy base. And the anti-tank emplacement also takes care of heavy bases if you land it up on a mountain using my trick. So this loadout kind of fulfills the run-and-gun jetpack Quasar divers love, but actually using good support weapon. All right, so moving on to our second loadout, and this wouldn't be a proper bots loadout video without mentioning the Railgun. It can one-tap Hulks in the faceplate, but there was a really small change that made this gun actually feel a lot better, and that was the recent patch lowering spread across the board. They lowered the Railgun spread from 10 to 0.1. And I have to actually just say that in hindsight, this makes a lot of sense now. There have been multiple videos on this website about shooting Hulks in the legs instead of the faceplate. I made one of these videos a while ago. And again, in hindsight, it just makes sense that it turns out it was the 10 spread, making this weapon just a smidge inaccurate. But it actually caught a decent buff recently when it was already a pretty solid weapon. However, you know, spread is not a fun mechanic. I'm not complaining about it at all. I'm just saying it's even better this patch. The Railgun can also one-shot those cringy bunker turrets in the mega bases. It deals with Devastators and Berserkers well. For tank heat sinks, you can do like one charge shot and one slightly charged shot. And you can also one-shot the Factory Strider chin guns, and then it's just a decent amount of shots to actually kill the heaviest units with. So to pair with this, I bring Thermite and the Ultimatum, and that way we make the heaviest threats a lot easier. Now, the best pairing for Railgun, in my opinion, every time I bring it, is full auto spray weapons. Even the regular Diligence can be okay, but in the background footage, I was actually just testing out the Liberator Penetrator. I haven't even tried the Penetrator before this patch, so it was level 1, not upgraded at all, and I actually quite enjoyed it. Now, normally I actually just use the regular sickle with the Railgun, but I think almost any more of the assault rifles, that way you have a bit more ammo for the small bots, or just anything that can 2-tap Devastators in the head, shoot Rocket Strider rockets out with. I think any of the assault rifles will feel decent with the Railgun, just, you know, maybe not the carbine because you want something more longer range. Now, for the rest of the stratagems, I was using the shield pack so that I could cosplay the original patch 1 Railgun shield pack builds. And the shield pack is nice because it lets you get those slight charges off while enemies are shooting at you. That way, you know, you're like when you're trying to shoot back. But I know a lot of people like using the supply pack with the Railgun, and I do that very often as well. Otherwise, though, I took Strafing Run, which is just such a staple stratagem for the bots for taking out fabricators. You know, we're not using anti-tank weapons, so Throwing a strafing run from far away to take out one of the fabricators is really nice. And the last stratagem I actually went with was Precision Strike, and this is for those larger threats like Factory Striders. Usually I'll just shoot off the chin guns with the Railgun, and then I'll throw the kitchen sink at the Factory Striders. But also Precision Strike is nice for taking out Detector Towers, or deactivated stratagem jammers. I think in this loadout, the Precision Strike is definitely a flex slot. Keep in mind that the gas strike can also kill detector towers or deactivated stratagem jammers. Ultimately, you could bring a barrage in this slot or a rocket sentry, or if you're feeling spicy, just another anti-tank emplacement. Whatever you want in this last slot is totally up to you. All right, the next loadout is going to be the solo diver's workhorse, the Recoilless rifle. This is my go-to on solo missions, or if I'm playing squads and I just want to be able to hold my own, especially if I get, you know, separated from the group and when they throw multiple heavy units at me. The Recoilless rifle is the gun that can one-tap Factory Striders in that eyeball or the foot, one-taps Hulks to the body, tanks to the front, fabricators, any angle, you name it, and the Recoilless rifle puts in work. You can take out all the heavies in a bot drop by yourself easily. Just make sure you're near a supply pack, get that refill, and then you're good to go. Now, for any new players who just started playing recently, the Recoilless rifle does do more damage than both the Quasar cannon and the EAT. There is an actual reason to use the Recoilless rifle over other anti-tank launchers. Now, I do like pairing this with Thermite as sort of my second throw and forget for heavy enemies. Help me conserve Recoilless ammo if I need to, because sometimes you want to save it in case you get those rare triple Factory Strider drop-offs. And between these two, we get to use the rest of our kit fully for mobbing. Now, I really actually do like the regular diligence on bots. It feels really nice to play that sort of sniping play style, and with the Recoilless as well, you can kind of hang out in the back and just snipe everything off for your teammates. Now, I am using the normal diligence with the angled grip and no muzzle attachment. This not only gives us the best handling, but it also gives us the best weapon sway. In my secondary slot, I pulled out the Senator because I just love using this gun. It's also just great for rocket striders if they already shot all their rockets and you need a backup way to kill them. And in a pinch, you can pull it out and snap kill Hulks. It's just a great utility option as well as the cool factor. And our three stratagems we are taking completely for mobbing: Strafing Run, Orbital Gas, and Orbital Gatling Barrage. All of them have low cooldown. They are great for dealing with big groups of mobs, and the utility from Orbital Gas to be able to take out detector towers or, again, deactivated stratagem jammers. Okay, so now onto the fire bots, and these guys can deal hefty fire damage, so I did put on my salamander armor. Now, this is going to sound like a crazy support weapon to bring, but I really enjoyed using the laser cannon. Now, with the buffs to fire in the last patch, the laser cannon feels amazing for dealing with hordes of breaker incendiary wielding devastators. Take the firefight back to them. Have a cooking showdown, as Pilestat like to call it. Now, Devastators die in my testing to about 2 full burns of fire damage. However, when I was testing it, it seemed like 2 full burns and then just a smidge more damage. However, if you're applying the burns with the laser cannon, usually what you do is cook their chest for a little bit, and then just 1 burn will finish them off from there. You do want to hover their eyes if you can, because that will just kill them in like less than a second of laser cannon cooking their heads. And I was testing Hulks. It seemed like they died to about 4 full fire burns. So like, you know, set them on fire once, let it burn out, do that 4 times in a row. You definitely want to aim for the faceplate for faster kills with the laser cannon. But, you know, sometimes when the fire Hulks are wobbling back and forth, it can be a little hard to hit the faceplate. And just know that the laser cannon actually does work well, killing them to the body. It's not, you know, as quick as the faceplate kill, but it does work. And you can definitely take them out before they even get close to you to be able to swipe at you. Shit. I was trying to look super cool, chat. I'm gonna be real. All right, anyways, keep your distance from the Flame Hulks when you can. The point of the laser pointer support weapon is to use it mainly as our primary for most of the mobbing. And then my favorite primary weapon for the firebots is surprisingly the Plasma Punisher. Now, the Plasma Punisher probably isn't super popular because it doesn't do the highest damage. It takes about 5 shots to kill a single Devastator. But what's really nice about it is it can stagger entire groups of the fire shotgun wielding Devastators and make you feel more comfy and safe if some of them end up getting too close to you, or, you know, you put away your laser cannon because it's almost heated up, you're letting it cool down. I think against the firebots, no matter what you go for with your primary weapon, I would honestly recommend something with higher stagger in this slot, because you know, against the firebots, they deal a lot of damage. It's kind of crazy going for the headshots all the time. And since both our primary and support weapons are for dealing with the mobs, we are taking the Ultimatum and the Thermite, pairing this with the supply pack. That way we have enough ammo to keep fueling our Ultimatum and enough grenades to fuel our Thermite to deal with all of our anti-tank needs. And both the Ultimatum and the Thermite have badass explosions and awesomeness, the best way to take out the automatons. Now the stratagems I'm using are the Strafing Run and the Gas Strike. The Strafing Run is just, like I said, that clean staple stratagem against the bots. But gas is a really nice tool for distracting the fire bots. You apply the gas damage to them and also confuse them and make them shoot each other and set each other on fire a lot more often. And the fire buffs in the last patch don't really work against the Helldivers as much. They work more against themselves. When they set each other on fire, they take a lot more fire damage than they used to. And I wanted to phrase this right, because keep in mind, they didn't buff fire damage across the board. I don't want to, you know, make any of you think that Helldivers are taking more damage. They're not. They didn't buff fire across the board. What they did make it was that the multiplier on enemies, specific enemies, was different, and most of the enemies take more fire damage now. So I don't want anyone getting confused thinking that the fire brigade does more damage than they used to. It's just that they take increased fire damage. All right, and those are my 4 go-to builds for bots. I basically switch it up depending on how I'm feeling or what enemies I'm fighting against, what kind of role I want to fulfill during my missions. I've been having a lot of fun swapping between these different options, and I just wanted to give new players a place to go since all of you just got done fighting on Super Earth, or give someone a different kind of loadout, someone who's been playing the game a while and just wants to switch it up. Let me know what you like using in the comments down below, and go blow up the automatons. See you guys next time. I'm out.